So I wanted to do a little bit of an impromptu live stream, a little bit of a soft rollout of a new initiative, kind of, sort of. Recently, I rolled out something called the Swoldier Supply Box, and this was an idea that had been on my mind for quite some time, and I needed to get some things off of my plate so that I could focus on rolling this thing out the right way. We did it last month, well, technically for February, and I think that it was pretty well received. And so, with that, I am now moving forward with rolling this thing out on an ongoing basis. And so the goal will be to try to put out a Swoldier supply box every single month. And if you've paid attention to any of the announcements on social media or on the YouTube channel, essentially what this thing is over 2 pounds of supplies that I use here in the comic book room, supplies that I think most comic collectors can actually benefit from. And so I think that it's a really awesome resource. So moving forward, the goal is to try to put this thing out every single month. So we will see. We will see whether the community is receptive to that. Deuces, boy, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. I think before people come into Twitch, they have to watch an ad or something like that. So we'll see whether other folks actually show up for this thing. It's definitely an impromptu, weird time to do it, but it is the time that I had free. So again, the Swoldier supply box is over 2 pounds of materials that actually get shipped out. The cost for it is $50, which includes shipping. And you can deduct anywhere from like $9 up to about $13 simply for the shipping alone. But over 2 pounds of comics and supplies. And I want to show you some of the cornerstones of the Swoldier supply box. It all starts with the bags and the boards. And I get the bags and boards from my folks over at Comic Clear. They make a wonderful poly bag that performs like a mylar. It's actually thicker than a standard poly. It's harder. It gives you the beer goggle look with your comic that you actually get from mylar, but potentially not from poly bags. The other great thing about it is that the bags are paired with clear backing boards, which is something that I really like. You can actually see your comic from the front and from the back versus having a white backing board there. So you can actually see one of them right here. You can see that's a pretty nice shot. I mean, there's a heck of a glare on it. There you go. That's actually better right there. And then if you flip it over, you can actually see again the back side of this thing. Shout out Comic Tom and Nate made it. So this is an example of this thing, and it is pretty rigid in terms of the backing board that's in there. It is clear, and again, a really nice feature. That's the cornerstone of every Swoldier supply box that goes out. There are 10 bags and boards in each one of the boxes. This month for March, I think I'm going to do 10 current versus last month it was 5 current, 5 Silver Age. I think we're going to do all current for this month. Thank you, brothers. They are pretty cool. That is part why I put them in the box, because I think they're cool. Speaking of cool, right here, these are collector mounts. These are the mounts that I've been using for about 3 years and some change. Here in the comic book room, you can see a ton of them are on display right behind me. They are great for securing and displaying slabs, and also raw books. If you want to put them on a wall, the same mount can actually be used for a shelf display. So if you want to set them on a shelf or a tabletop, you can use the exact same mount to do it. So each one of the boxes that will go out will actually have a mount of some sort. Most of the boxes get this mount, which is the one that is used for albums, comic books, magazines, and more. Others will receive one that holds like 45s, or DVDs or video games. Another version holds sports cards. So I kind of put a little bit of everything in there. The vast majority will be one of these mounts. So again, another really cool component of the box. One new thing that I'm introducing this month, that my folks over at Ready, Set, Collect, who I've worked with before, sent me over 50 or no, yeah, 50 sets of 50 tabs. And these tabs are really cool. They are actually called Stick It. And what's great about these things is that they are used for securing the back flap of a comic book bag. So instead of using painter's tape or scotch tape, you can actually use these stick it tabs. They are 1.5 inches in the diameter. But what's cool about these, they're clear. They're clear. And so you can't even see them. And so you don't have to worry about looking at a piece of tape or something like that with your clear backing board from Comic Clear. You can actually use your stick it and use that instead. So they hooked me up with this. We're going to put 50, one pack of 50 in each one of the boxes that is going to go out this month. And so again, for those folks that came in a little late, basically going to be rolling out the Swoldier supply box every single month as a subscription. So once you go to regiecollects.com, you'll see the tab up there. You click the button, you sign up, and you will get a box every single month. I want to show you some of the comics. Show you some of the comics that are actually going to be included. Again, the focus really is on the supplies, but you cannot send a box out to the comic book community without including some comics. So each of the boxes that goes out will have at least 3 comics in it. I think this is actually a Venom key. I can't remember which one, but this is Marvel Comics Presents issue number 118. We have some Ghost Rider in there. We have the first chronological appearance of Rogue. This story was supposed to appear, I think, in Miss Marvel Miss Marvel issue number 25, but they canceled it at 23. So that's in there. A couple of these Superman 10 centers. I threw some of those in there. We've got some Destroyer Duck right there. This book has become hot. I think it has some twins in there. I can't remember. There was some spec about this just recently. I pulled 2 copies of it. Extreme Justice issue number 9. Pulled 2 copies of this from the 100K collection. We're going to throw those in there. There's some Justice League issue number 1. Because I read some Kingdom Come recently, we're going to throw in, what is that? Issue 3 of Kingdom Come. I think I put 1 through 4 in last month's box. So I had 1 left over. Here's Alpha Flight issue number 3 that's going to go in there. The first battle between the aliens and predators. Dark Horse Presents issue number 36. 2 copies of that, the A cover and the B cover. First appearance of Stephanie Brown, aka Spoiler, is going in there. That's Detective Comics 647. Knights of the Republic issue number 6. I think that has a couple of cameo appearances. We have some Onslaught action, X-Men issue number 53. A couple more here. Rocket Raccoon issue number 4. And then I also am going to throw in Batman Long Halloween issue number 9. So a couple of the books that are going to be going in there. Each box that will go out will contain at least 3 comics. Some may include more than that. We'll see how things kind of shake out. So let me see, how well do square-bound books sit in those? Square-bound book would probably not sit well in this because this is a current bag and board right here. And so there is not enough room, as you can probably see on the very edges of this thing, for a square-bound book. My assumption would be that a Silver Age a bag and board will probably be a better setup for a thicker square bound book. But of course, it's going to depend upon how thick that book is and how tight that bag and board setup actually becomes. So it's hard for me to say without knowing specifically which book you may be referring to. But the safer bet probably is to get a thick bag and put them in a thick bag versus even increasing the size and going Silver Age and trying to put a current square bound book into a Silver Age bag, because you still may get some shifting and moving. It becomes a little complicated. Tina, how you doing? It's good to see you. Oh no, Blue says those clear, man, I'm telling you, they are wonderful. So what I did this month, man, because these clear bags and boards are going to be the cornerstone of every single box that I put out, I reached out to some friends over at Ready, Set, Collect, and they hooked me up with these. Stick It. These are adhesive tabs. They are clear adhesive tabs that will go on the backside of the bag and board. That way it does not obscure anything, does not obscure anything. They hooked me up with this. Shout out to Ready, Set, Collect. We go back a long ways. I think I've been dealing with these guys over there for a couple of years now. They have those MIP sheets, which are really great for removing some of the gases associated with comic books, and also just helping to prevent or slow the aging process. They also have this wonderful product called Stick It, which can replace the tape on the back of a flap. So there you go. Scrolling through. Yeah, man. I'll tell you, I've gone through all different kinds of scenarios, man, playing around with different bags and boards and different sizes and different types of comics. Yeah, I've given up. I've given up on mix and match. I just try to go as standard as possible. So I have a small supply of thick bags that I use whenever I have a book that just doesn't quite work. I personally like going with the age appropriate bag and board for the comic that I'm trying to protect versus trying to put a current book in a Silver Age bag and stuffing extra backing boards in there. I've done all kinds of things over the years, and that's just my personal preference. So again, so the big thing is the Swoldier supply box, which is a over 2 pounds of supplies, is now available as a subscription. So if you are interested in actually signing up for this thing, you can go to reggiecollects.com. I'm doing a soft rollout of this thing because I've never done the subscription thing before. So I'm trying to do a soft rollout to get some folks to sign up for it so I can see if there's any kinks before I do a big rollout of this thing and jam myself up. So as a reminder, this thing is primarily available in the United States unless you are a Patreon member. If you're a Patreon member in Canada, I will definitely take care of you, but we are trying to limit this thing again to the US. All right. So with that, we're going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. If you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram. And as a reminder, there is another video that's going to be rolling out tonight at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys will check it out. I think it's going to be a good one. I don't remember what it is, but I think it's going to be a good one. Anyway, if you need me, I'm not too hard to find. Take care.